You know?
How were the vibes at Wrigley?
It's crazy,
It's
dude.
awesome.
It really is. Yeah, Chief was there too.
Yeah.
I've sat so far in the bleachers. I've sat in 1914. I've sat down the first base side. I sat up in the 200 section. I've been around, man. I'm telling you, like everywhere you go, it's just the happiest, coolest, friendliest fucking place, man.
That 14 pitch at bat, 14 pitch at bat, and then Rizzo hit a bomb to tie the game. That was maybe the most electric experience I've personally had at Wrigley. Like with each pitch, like there was like a louder and louder roar, and then when he hit that bomb, like the place just erupted, and you could just kind of feel it coming. Like you knew he was going to do something awesome, and then he hits the bomb. It was like, this is what Chicago should always be. Like, this is like how Wrigley should be. And it wasn't even fully full that day. I feel like there was still maybe...
Was that...
that was Friday afternoon.
Yeah, that was Friday because they didn't go full till Saturday.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that still would have been 60%. Now, did it feel like 60%?
No, well, that was the first day where it was announced that they were allowed to have 100, but I think like the people weren't... I don't know.
Oh, okay, just not all in.
Yeah, they just didn't do... People didn't show up the way they normally would on a Friday afternoon game. But it was like the weather was... like everything about it was just perfect. And the vibes are awesome.
And then
the vibes couldn't be better.
Yeah, how about before and after the game, too? Clark Street.
Yeah.
Action! Cubs win. Taco meets out to play. We're hitting Clark Street. I mean, just like the amount of vibes, the amount of juice that's on Clark Street. PSA number one, everybody stay safe. There's going to be a couple PSAs today, but just stay safe. It's a big fucking week.
Like it's shut down. It's just like I remember when we were looking for offices, we were walking around on there. It's like this is like a ghost town last year. Looking around Wrigley, like nobody's out, and baseball was going on. It was just like this weird, eerie feeling. Now it's just like I went to Old Crow after the game, and it was a zoo.
Yeah,
and like places packed to the brim, and people are having a great time. It was just like people are in on the Cubs. The Cubs are fun.
So the more we can hang on to this, and we just have to drag this out on a social level. The Cubs can drag this out till Bears preseason. And there's a lot of people around Chicago who will be happy with this Cubs season. I'm not lumping myself in this camp, but I just know like this is how the Chicago Cubs work with the city of Chicago. Much different than the White Sox, where the White Sox fans like that's their number one season. If you're a White Sox fan, like you put the White Sox up there number one or their number one directly alongside the Chicago Bears. Where a lot of Cubs fans are like, yeah, I like the Cubs for exactly what Chief and I are talking about. Like, yeah, you go up there, you party, you have a great time, it's convenient. You're not watching these fucking games.
Yeah.
So,
but people were into that. Maybe it's because it's Cardinals, but people were into that game.
Oh, well, they're 24-10 at home.
Yeah.
They've swept the Padres, the Dodgers, the Mets, and the Cardinals at home in like the last month and a half. Mm-hmm. It's pretty fucking crazy. Now, on the road, they're 14-19. Does this lead into some of these cheating? You know, maybe there's a guy in the bleachers with the binoculars.
Don't say it. Didn't happen.
I'm obviously teasing. As far as players are concerned, you just punt. It's like each week I just come in here and we're like playing Monopoly. It's like, you know, just pass go, collect your 200, whatever. Because, like, is Chris Bryant going to get traded? Is he not going to get traded? Like, the odds are not moving very much in that. So, I just, as far as are we signing KB, are we not? It seems like people very much want to have some kind of news on this. So, just keep it moving. It's going to be like a week. We're going to be into the second half.
Just sign everybody.
I know. Well, let's
do it.
What's the money issue? Is like,
it's just one of those things where it's like,
don't you want more days like we had on Friday, Saturday? Don't we want more weekends that we just swept the Cardinals? Like that's what we're talking about. We're talking about creating that environment and atmosphere.
I also just feel like in sports in general, it's so hard to find those guys. Like you could make a trade where you get like proper value for Chris Bryant in terms of like high-end prospects, whatever, and it just doesn't work out. Like guys flame out all the time. It just doesn't work out. Like I almost feel like same thing with like Taves and Kane. Like when you get guys, you should just like hold on to them for dear life because they don't come along very often. And I kind of feel like they have something like now it's like they got life in this team again. Like last year it felt like, all right, the run's over. These guys don't give a fuck. Like maybe they want to be out. Now it doesn't feel like that. Looks like Chris Bryant's having fun. He's talking about a package deal with Rizzo. Baez is, I know, you know, they're back to being fun. And if they're fun and they're having fun, then there's nobody more.
Yeah,
like,
but Isn't this thing where you get caught up in the moment a little bit too?
Oh, I'm so caught up in the
Yeah,
moment.
like I think that's you never want to think that way, whether it be good or bad.
But don't you think that like
It's the same thing with that Bears when they started 5-1 and everyone, you know what I mean? It's just
but we're looking over like a 6-year period, right? Like if you sign these guys, and then it's like, all right, we have another 6 years where
but it's also like what's the excuse for underachieving mightily previous years before that, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just completely. So all right, we have a good April, May, half of June so far, and now it's like everything else is excused.
Well, and I guess it comes down to what do you think? What do you believe Chris Bryant really is?
Yeah, like you really got to sit down and like have a strong thought, right? I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
This is
worst case for them. There's no easy answer,
and you could argue it's like the most critical juncture the Cubs have been in. Since Sam Zell announced he was going to sell.
Yeah. I'd agree with
that. And it was
that.
like, all right, so what's the next move? Because that's going to dictate the future. All right, so like this, and it's not just KB, it's Riz, and it's Baez. Like you just put, and then obviously Contreras, if he's long-term or not, but his contract, he's not on the block right now.
Right.
It's these three guys are up right now. Right fucking now.
I will say this. From a White Sox fan perspective, I would not want anything to do with Javi Baez long term. I don't think, because we've seen what the bad looks like, and being on the wrong side of 30, I don't think there's going to be. I think there's going to be a lot more bad than good. Even though he is a fan favorite, he works his ass off, great shortstop. I'd be very, very, very scared to do that. I think Bryant will age better. Rizzo will age fine. Contreras, that's a little weird one because he's a catcher and it's a physically demanding position. But another thing you also had to look forward to, I assume, universal DH.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope so. Yeah, get the fuck rid of pitching.
Seriously, dude. I see like Zach Davies in there waving a fucking bat around with a
shut
sack
the fuck up
like,
about
dude,
it. Like
what are we doing?
Art of having to make a double switch and all that. Get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah, like we're just gonna keep this rule around so we can praise 16 MLB managers like once every fucking third game.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, what a fucking get the fuck out of my face.
And you see, this allows Matt Duffy to pinch hit here, and now it's like, okay, dude, great. That's why we don't have a designated hitter, so we can listen to Buster Only below. I shouldn't say Buster Only. Somebody, me.
I'm blocked by Buster Only, so you can say it if you want.
Really? Why?
I don't know. Been blocked for like 7 years.
That's tough.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the old bleachers this week?
What the cup snakes? Yeah. Do you mean personally or professionally?
Well, I just Crane County said that they allowed to just let the people snake this weekend.
Just let them snake.
Yeah.
I guess there's a couple times I was walking around that ballpark after all that cup snake stuff came out, and I felt uncomfortable. I know that they don't like me. I know that they think that I'm inciting bad behavior.
You're a terrorist.
Yeah, like that I'm like not a fucking team guy or whatever, and then I'm there for myself and just to like create chaos. Mm-hmm. And that's just couldn't be further from the. Well, I guess that is true in some cases.
I'm just so confused, man.
So I'm saying I'm getting at that. I don't like the fact that now all of a sudden it's okay.
Yeah, I just don't understand it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you watched it, if you know the cup snake we're talking about, this was a fucking monster.
I thought they were going to put it on the rooftops.
It was
going to extend across the street.
Dude, like, so that was, like I was telling the car earlier, that was a conscious decision where someone radioed down, let them do it. Let them go. Like,
do you think
how
they
did we
planted
get
it?
there?
What
after,
if they planted some guys there?
I don't think they're that good.
Okay, so I know we don't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
like,
where it's almost like
that was a conscious move. Like, and I mean, they said as much, but
toss me the fucking paper towel.
You got a spilled coffee.
I fucking spilled the fucking coffee on the new rugs.
fair catch.
Yeah.
I'm such an idiot.
But it was a conscious decision by them to make that happen. And Crank County admitted as much, but I'm just surprised they do it after how mad they got 2 years ago.
Do you think it's because they're just like, look at things are
That's
back
what I said.
open.
I said COVID made the Cubs appreciate hey, let people have fun.
And the team is also fun too. So nobody's having fun here the last couple of years, right? Like it was just like they're just the no fun police. The team was miserable. Everybody was miserable. Now it's like they need people to come back to Wrigley. Why give anything 1 ounce of bad press? Like the team is fun, the stadium's fun. Like just let it.
And
let
they
it
were
ride.
the ones that made it a thing.
Yeah.
Like I truly believe like
They did.
all around, like wherever, like if that doesn't happen, like this isn't like now it's like all like the White Sox fucking they're crazy over there. Now it's like, oh, well, we look like we're pussies. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we look like we're not fun if we don't. I don't know.
Well, I would also say that
just-
the
it's-
stakes have probably been raised for Cubs fans that go into the bleachers. When I say I'm talking about the guys that are building Cub snakes, you know, like our demographic, the guys that are going there and sending Danny the videos like, yo, post this on Instagram. All right, if I'm a Cubs fan and I've seen the stuff that's going on at the cell, aren't you walking in with a little bit of a competitive edge?
Oh,
like,
fuck yeah.
our bleachers are better.
Exactly.
Have we started the bleacher wars?
A little bit we have. And I will say this. So last night apparently I didn't see it. I haven't seen any videos of it, but apparently, and this is how you ruin the fun really fucking quick. When Liam Hendricks was pitching in the ninth, they had to call timeout for like 30 seconds and they didn't show why. I figured some asshole ran on the field or something like that. Apparently some assholes in the bleachers were throwing cups at someone in the dugout or something. Got a little out of hand.
Okay.
If you want to ruin the fun and ruin the competitive
fuck
Cubs
that.
versus White Sox bleachers, like, don't be a fucking idiot.
Yep.
Chew into the fucking Randy Rose Arena in left field. Chew into the other team's, bullpen. You can see them. Like, have fun. Don't be fucking assholes and ruin it for the rest of people. And I said this last week too. Like, if you don't like what is going on in the bleachers right now, like, I don't sit in the bleachers, and if I was in the bleachers, which is where my season tickets will be for the rest of the year, then I don't think I would be like taking part in a Cup snake. That's not for me. I'm 32. If you're 22, I can see it. I'm 32. No, thank you. That
You
doesn't
would-
mean
you
I'm
would
gonna
pass it down.
I'd pass it down. Be like, yeah, here you go. But I'm
Yeah.
not going to sit there and fucking hold it up.
Yeah.
And same with the wave. But don't be the fucking ballpark police that, like, you're ratting on, like, oh, this is fucked up. Like, watch the fucking game. That's not for you to decide. Don't sit in the bleachers then.
But so my last note is that I just think that the Cubs doing that and coming at myself and you for that 2 years ago,
And then being fine with it.
It was the ultimate Streisand effect. Like I truly believe that in some aspect, like it just made everything blow up more, and it wouldn't have been like this if they didn't do that.
They could just been
So I don't know. I mean, it is what it is.
like as simple as just being like, hey, if you guys have somebody on your show again that works for us, could you just give me a heads up or something?
yeah,
or
I don't
like,
know.
hey, give me a phone call. I want to
I
talk
don't
to
know.
you guys.
It's crazy to me that they're just so obsessed with appeasing this minority who already doesn't like the Cubs for other reasons, But
Cup snake shirt
digress.
out Friday morning. Cup snake shirt out Friday morning. If you're building snakes and you want to be part of the movement, we'll have a shirt for you guys on Friday morning. Designed by Peefco. Nice shirt, Mike.